Alright, so Luke, what are we doing today? Or tonight?
Well, Mother Nature decided to be a bitch and pour water in our hole, so we have a simple system.
So yeah, everyone, this is why I don't put water in my hole. Like whenever you comment, put water in hole, please. It's to make hole dig quicker. It really doesn't. It makes it really tough. And as you can see, Luke here in his loafers trying to get oh shit! We got like a little fire over there. You probably can't see it.
Dude, I'm so wet and cold.
Watch your language, mister.
Okay.
Oh, God. And Luke's got like a rip in his pants, like at the crotch, so it's extra cold.
We take this.
And then it's like getting down into the 30s and 40s tonight. It's really, really cold out here, even though it's November.
So we take the water and we
just dump it out.
And then here's the hood rig part.
Yeah, there's like some sort of chemicals, but whatever.
And then here's the hood rig part. You just take it, and you're like, I need to refill it.
It
refills on itself. In
it refills itself. As you can see, can't really see too well because it just doesn't focus in well. But anyways, once we get this water out, we're going to start digging it and we'll start the time lapse. So
really cold.
We'll see you then. The slave pit.
So we've gotten all the water out.
Anthony Portrellis.
Yeah, we've gotten all the water out. So now it's just muddy everywhere.
Filthiness. Disgusting. And it's really, really heavy because there's the added weight of the water.
Wait, do that again? Dump it out?
Huh?
Just click it out again real quick for me. No, like turn around. Turn, look that way. Look that way for me. Okay. That's it. Alright, nice. Nothing? You'll see it later. Alright, keep going. So basically what he's doing is he took like some of this wall right here, this whole wall. You see it's how it's like shiny? He took some of the mud we made and he took it and he flattened it out, and see all this dirt right here? He made that to gather up the rest of the water and soak it up. So now, as you see, pile by pile, he is getting this all out.
But it's getting dry.
It's getting dry, yeah. You can see,
I could dump some grass.
like, there's a dry patch right there compared to that, and that, and that, and then that light. Hey, look at the light. Okay, but yeah, everything's going pretty good. Just kind of working on it. It's getting late. It's probably like midnight so far.
It's probably
not even. It's like 8:30 maybe. And then we got Papa up there on the cooker. Hold on.
Constipated old man taking a crap. Get it.
Come on, focus. There's the man's booty. There's the man. There he is. Alright, well, we're gonna finish this up. And, we'll catch you back in the morning.
Alright, I'm back out here in the morning, back at the cock house. So, it's pretty cold. And, you know, Luke destroyed that. Very useful. Thanks a lot, Luke. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to try to get down, you know, a little bit deeper than it is right now. I'm going to break that big old rock. And as you can see here, I've already started building a bit of a wall out of rocks I've dug out. And I'm just going to be adding some of this to the sides, you know, maybe like make a little bit of a rain barrier so that there's a lot less water that gets in it each time it storms. But as a recap from the other night, You know, me and Luke were out here working on this. We got rid of water. For the most part, the water actually didn't do too much damage like I was anticipating. Because as you can see down there, there's a lot of clay that this thing is made of. It's like mostly dirt mixed with clay, but same thing. So, you know, the only bit that's probably affected is the topsoil layer, which I could just, you know, hack that out and replace it with some mud mixed with grass, which holds up decently well. It's like clay mud with grass and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get on to the time lapse. Alright, so shoot. What's going on here is it may seem a bit muffled. It's because I got a gas mask on, or a dust mask at the very least. Because these rocks produce so much dust, like watch this. All that shit floats around, I get respiratory issues. So, something like this will give me dust pneumonia. It's not very fun. Shit. I also fixed my sledgehammer. I put a cedar handle on it, just carved it out of a stick. That thing slays. It's the freaking shit right here. It's gooder at breaking rocks. So here we go. So, fun story. I'm gonna take this off. Last night, I was on Omegle, or Omegle, whichever you call it. I call it either one. But, I was on there, and there's, you know, a bunch of random people. You know, I was doing this sort of thing that I do on Omegle where I just wink at people and then pass on. Like, it's anime wink sort of thing where you pull the glasses down. Pretty weird. But anyways, I'm like on there and I meet this kid. He goes by on YouTube. He goes by I think the Death Pickle. I don't know. You can find his name in my lawnmower VU comments section. But you know, he's really freaking cool. Kind of weird too. And this is not a shout out. Just pointing out that this is a person. But you know, I was on Omegle, and that kid, man, that's funny as hell. We were talking about weird shit, like, how he was at school once, and like, what's it called? He put packing peanuts in someone's locker, and they all fell out and stuff. It was pretty funny. So yeah, he was a pretty cool dude I met. But yeah, I was looking on Omegle, you know, just winking at people casually. And out of nowhere, there's this kid in a hoodie with these like red lights for eyes, which he had like on his little Halloween costume. And I'm like, what the hell are you supposed to be? He's like, rah, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm like, nah, man, my worst nightmare is being in a class where I can't get work done. But yeah, it was pretty funny. It was lit that night. 12 o'clock, Luke had a cold. Because he was so chilly from the other day. Look at that big old rock. This thing is thick. Thicker than Beyonce's A-double-S. But yeah, Luke was having a cold. And I was talking to the kid till like 2 in the morning. Fucking awesome. Which is pretty much my life, you know. Just going on Omegle on the weekends after a long day at work, digging in this wretched hole, which is actually not too bad. It's pretty stress relieving. And then just talking with random ass people on the internet. But yeah, as you can see here, Sledgehammer made very quick work of this rock, and same with the hatchet too. Because I mean, look at that thing. That was a huge rock. Got little fragments here and there. I mean, this is actually kind of fun, you know. I always wanted to do some mining. Don't know why. Just had the urge to, like, dig and stuff one day. After watching, like, videos. I've been like, you know what? I'm going to do some real-life Minecraft, 9-year-old me said. And here I am, digging holes on YouTube. Originally, when I started this out, you may have heard me referring to 2 other holes which I dug. Originally, I did dig 2 random holes, like out in the middle of my yard and off to the side and off to like the left of my yard from here. But, you know, they were really ghetto rigged, you know, just a straight down shaft into the ground that flooded constantly and then just eroded. And then, you know, it was a bunch of rocks and I didn't know how the heck to break them, which now I do, thankfully. But, yeah, that was lit. Alright. But yeah, they were just real dangerous. I started tunneling into one. Like, I would crawl down, like, in a 2-foot wide space, about that high. I was about, I don't know, 9, 10 around then. And, you know, I crawl down into this little crawl space I made and just digging into it with like dirt falling down on top of me and not even thinking about safety, you know. Didn't have any supports, nothing. Just moist ass dirt that was crumbling and stuff, and it was just so dangerous. Oh Lord. Eventually ended up collapsing on itself during a storm. Thankfully I wasn't in it. Oh, that's fun. I get to repair that wall. That big old rock. Alright, so that big old rock got through that. Now I got about 6 inches down. That's a very thick rock. Must have been really old because of how big it was. There's some crystals that managed to form inside of it. Very interesting. I think they're like some calcium based quartz. Probably that. Looks like this yellow one we have here, I believe that's called calcite, which is what quartz turns into. This here is quartz right here, a vein of it. And you find a lot of this in limestone. This red stuff, I don't know what it is, probably some type of calcite, maybe, maybe not. But I've gotten down pretty low to where there's a lot of like sand and clay in the soil. And it's not like decomposed plant matter so much anymore as it is more or less just decomposed limestone, things like that. Now, you may see me here keeping some of the rocks. Let me get a better shot of that. But you can see how I'm keeping the rocks into the wall. Especially that big old thing. I don't know how far back it goes. But what I'm going to do is just fill those holes in with like, what's it called? Daubing, or we'll just, you know, mud and grass, or just clay and grass, I don't know. But what I'll do is fill that crap in, and the rocks will add extra support from the soil above. I mean, so like check out the difference in light or texture. So here you got this like shiny stuff. Down here you got like really sandy, like orange, brown. Then it's kind of shiny right here. Then up around here you get this really flaky sort of planty crap that looks like it's got a bunch of what's it called, worm poops in it. And so that's the topsoil, goes down to about here to the subsoil layer. Then it's like a sub rock bilayer, whatever it's called, I don't know. Not too much, don't know too much about that, but I know that, you know, it changes colors the further you get down. Eventually it goes into bedrock, and you can't really get through that unless you have explosives, which I do not, but there's always a way. No, I'm probably not going to use explosives. Neighbors will probably wake up and freak the hell out. But, you know, for now I'm just going to try to get down. I think there's another rock beneath here, which, oh boy, that's going to be fun to break, which it actually is pretty fun. I mean, hammering it with this big old thing is a lot of fun, especially if it's something, you know, look at this, about as wide as the camera is off the ground. That's crazy. So yeah, I'll get back to you all when I start digging this crap out. And so yeah, let's get that off. Won't be needing that for this process. So, now with most of the dirt that's loose removed, I've gone ahead and put it all in here. And you can see it's sort of brownish orange, you know, makes a nice good diarrhea flavor. What I'll do is show you all how I mix it and sort of make like the stuff which I make the mud bricks out of. So, yeah, I'll show you all the process. Let me put this here. Set that up. The fun adventures related to making YouTube videos. So much fun. Alright, so I've added grass and dirt, and there's already mud in there. It's like very saturated with water, but it's not saturated enough, no, because I have to add a little bit more water. It has to be a precise amount or else it'll completely screw the whole thing up. Gotta make sure it's the perfect amount. Just like every single YouTuber showing you how to make concrete, you have to have it the perfect amount where it will be absolutely fucked up. And it will not work. I indeed guarantee it. It will not work. Also, crush to conserve. Saving the world. One bottle at a time. Throw it into the bowl. And then for this part, you want to have some boots on, just in case. Because, you know, it's kind of gooey, kind of gross, sticky and icky, nasty and sticky. But, you know, you sort of just step on it like you're stepping on grapes in Rome. And I'm sure many of you have been to Rome. I certainly haven't. But I'm sure many of you have been to Rome and squashed grapes, so you can definitely tell how it's like. You know, mash that muck up. So that was fun. Just slapped it and a bunch of mud flew into my eye. Ugh. But anyways, yeah, it's working out pretty well. The mud, I've managed to get a portion of this wall rebuilt. Doesn't look too sturdy, and it probably isn't, but you know, shaking it, it doesn't rock back and forth violently as if I were to like stack some rocks. Stop it! Neighbor's dog's barking. It's just getting on my nerves. Will you stop? Well, yeah. So, pretty much what I've done is gotten the big stones, because what you want to do is get the big ones first and lay them down as like a foundation for the rest of the wall. And then you put smaller stones on top of that and you layer them up. I mean, I'm not going to do it too high. I just want it about this high, because then I'm going to make like a roof on it, which you'll see in a while, probably in the third episode. But yeah, the roof is going to go over this. It's going to hopefully keep out most of the rain, which honestly is not too fun to be bucketing out bucket by bucket, you know. But yeah, you do what you do. So let me get this done and I'll show you all what it looks like on the front. Pretty much what I've done up here is I've taken the mud and I've sort of plastered it on there, and so it creates somewhat of a seal. Not too good of a seal, but you know, if there's like a creek that runs down here, most of it's just going to flow off and a little bit of trickle will get in. And of course, then it'll go around to the back and just pour down in there. Efficiency. But let me move these away. This is an electrical hazard. Nah, it's not plugged in. I plug this stuff. I plug that in when I'm doing this at night. So, you know, conserving energy. Let me hop in here. So there's a water bottle from earlier, and there's a small, you know, really badly made wall of bricks that looks like it's gonna fall, and probably will. Oh well. But this is actually getting about as high up as the other fort was, because right here is my hip bone and here is the dirt bone, and as you can see, of course, over here my hip bone is right here, and you know, it's about 3 feet down on this side, 4 feet on that. Let me sit up here. And oh god, oh god. But you know, there's all this, my hammers. But yeah, this part I'm going to try to take down at least a foot more. Got a bit of a cold. But I'm going to try to take this down a bit more, probably a foot. Maybe even a little bit more. Then that'll give me ample space to stand around, and I'll probably move some of this crap right here and expand towards that way. Probably not that way, because I mow the grass over there every so often. And as you saw on Lawnmower Vu, my previous video in the summer, that thing is pretty big. It's a bit of a truck, kind of excessive for my yard, but it makes it really easy, and it's actually pretty fun to use, as you saw in the video. But let's get on with digging this, rather than blabbing my mouth about how fun it is to cut the grass. Oh, that's a big old rock. Probably shouldn't be breathing this. So much dust. Oh. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode. I managed to get down, a bit more. Of course, I'm going to dig this a little bit more throughout tonight. But for the most part, I got that down pretty good. My sledgehammer is holding up with its ghetto rigged handle. My wall is 2. Doesn't even wobble now. It's very, very stable, you know. Really stable, very sturdy. That doesn't come apart. That's supposed to do that. But, you know, there's these holes from the rocks, which is pretty useful because I don't have to dig as much dirt out. And all I have to do is just, pile a bunch of rocks up over here, which in the end I'll end up using later for various things, like, I don't know, making a wall or chimney or some God knows what. But yeah, it's getting pretty good. You can't really see it here in the video, but as you go down with how what's it called, soil changes, I've started to find, like, around this layer, which is about, let me see, 4 feet down, maybe a little bit less, but maybe a little bit more too. But anyways, yeah, you get down further enough, and you got all these rocks that are all piled up on top of each other because Earth's just been hitting too many bongs in the past couple billion years, maybe millions, I don't know. Not too much of a geologist, but it's been hitting the bongs so much, it's just been getting so stoned, and layers and layers of rocks that keep out a lot of this grass and crap from getting down in there. Stupid nonsense. Who needs this? Anyways, garbage. But all this stuff is pretty much like decomposed, like plants from thousands of years ago, or maybe billions and millions, but it's also decomposed rocks, as I said previously, because of how clays formed. Is rocks decompose and turn into this sort of stuff, or it's vice versa, the clay is turning into rock. But I got a bit close to the mic there, it was pretty loud, but it forms a lot of clay. So you get further and further down, there's different types of clay and all that, which is useful because I'm piling it up over there, and it'll make much better this stuff, this, I don't know, mortar. But having to squat all the time, never miss leg day when you're digging this thing. But in the end, I'll end up getting this done. Probably in the next episode I'll get it to where I can put a roof on it and stand underneath of here and start working on it. Plans for the next sort of part of this hole, I'm going to dig from like right here over to that direction and maybe put a little tunnel up. If you can, let me see if you can see it. If you look over there past my junk pile underneath the Frank planks, or just boards off siding off my house, there's that plastic tube, which I found out over there in the river after it flooded, yada yada yada. Just to shorten it, I'm just going to stick it right there, maybe make like a tunnel entrance, and just probably wall this area off, maybe put a few air holes or something. Materials for what I'm going to use for the roof. Probably, I got an old table up there. It's not that plywood right there, but behind it there's an old table under my house which fits this sort of area perfectly. And I'll probably put that on top of here, put some shingles on it, or some trash bags, or tar paper, whatever. And then hopefully that's waterproof and mosquitoes can't get through it. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for more. Alright, bye.